Happening, everybody, and welcome to KOM News Extra. I'm Jason Salas. We thank you so much for tuning in. It's the last News Extra of the year 2013. In our lineup tonight, GVB's plans to bring in the new year and ring in the new year as well. See how we did that? It's called a pun. Later on, we'll give you details to the holiday hotline, but first, the ribbon has been cut on the newly renovated Plaza De Espana, and here to give us the very latest about restoring Hagatna is the Executive Director of the Hagatna Restoration and Redevelopment Authority, our friend Joseph Artero Cameron. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you as well, Jason.
All right, good to see you. You haven't been here in a while, but working hard, of course. You know.
Many projects that are still in lay for restoration work and also for new projects in the rich historic district of Hagatna.
And certainly this one is one of the most intriguing from a cultural standpoint. So tell us what is so significant, not only Hagatna, on paper being the capital of Guam, but for what reason must we restore that part of the island?
The rich historic perspective of that particular area was that during Spanish colonization, that's where the seat of government was, and then when the Americans came in, that was also the seat of government. And of course, the recapturing of Guam during the bombardment in World War II, we lost most parts of the Plaza De Espana, with the exception, of course, of what we were able to restore, which is the azotea, the chocolate house, what used to be the Old Guam Museum, which is really the garden house of the First Lady, and the holding area, which is a beautiful garden that has also a fountain that springs.
Now, these days, again, a lot of people don't realize this, but in terms of voter registration, Hagatna is actually the smallest municipality on Guam as far as number of registered voters, because it's known as such a center of commerce, and there's so many law firms that have set up shop down there as their headquarters, and there's a few restaurants, and there's all these office buildings and everything. So how has the dynamic changed of Hagatna over the years, and what do you intend to do, overseeing this project to kind of like bring us back and remember how it used to be?
Well, the bombardment of the entire Hagatna, primarily as a direct result of World War II, dislocated thousands and thousands and thousands of Chamorro who lived in that village. Actually, that's where most everybody lived, and they had their own village, ranches, the Lansu, but they basically lived in Hagatna. And we're looking forward to the Hagatna Restoration and Redevelopment Authority, the master plan, to bring back affordable housing in that area. As you know, the museum, which will be open December 2014, will be a great advantage to that area. It would seemingly hook up with the actual existing Chamorro village. We also have a children's library that will be built soon that has a cybertech cafe that would allow the parents to be with their children in that same community space, as well as a fishing and viewing platform in the Plaza De Susana area. And soon you will see the hardening of a 3-story building of the Fisherman's Co-op.
Now, Hagatna is very unique in our island from a visiting standpoint. Like if you're somebody who wants to walk around, you could literally walk past the entire village in maybe 10 or 15 minutes if you're walking at a brisk pace. Most villages out here, you might be able to do that except for Jigo and Dededo and Jonya. But in walking through the village and everything, you go from seeing, the cathedral, and you walk past, like you said, like the chocolate house, and then you walk by some of the more notable landmarks down there. What are the telling signs today of Hagatna, and how do those parallel to how it used to be, as far as the major signposts?
Well, if you would look at the Plaza de Espana, it is adjacent to the Skinner Plaza as we know it to be. And primarily before the war, before it even became the Skinner Plaza, there were about 22 parcel lots. As a matter of fact, the Arteros lived on the Skinner Plaza lots. They were fragmented lots before the war.
Your relatives, of course, your descendants.
Yes. My great-grandfather from Almeria, Spain. He was considered one of the last of the Spaniards to come to Guam in 1898, right after the Spanish-American War.
Now, what work remains for you and the people working with you on this project? Because certainly, it's not something you can just crank out in 2 weeks and everything. What steps have you ahead?
Well, we want to thank, first of all, Governor Calvo, who has worked very closely with Senator Ben Pangilinan, who sponsored amendments to the hot bond projects to allow for monies of the Hotel Oxy tax bonds to be utilized for projects like the Plaza De Espana. Of course, the governor announced today during the actual event of the ribbon cutting that he looks forward to rebuilding, as you know, nothing's to be restored, but the rebuilding of the Spanish Palace. The second floor was primarily residence for governors, and the first floor was the governor's offices. So that would be a project in the coming, as well as, if you would notice, where the old Department of Administration building, now a member to the Hagatna Restoration Board of Commissioners, is Senator Rory Spishu, who had indicated that he would like to see that building demolished so that it would give way for the capital city of Hagatna, which will also incorporate the Spanish Palacio.
Now, if people would like to find out more information about, the progress of your work, or just, like how they might be able to get involved, where can they go?
Actually, currently it's under the GITA agency that handles the hot bond projects, along with R.W. Armstrong, the program management office. And of course, I attend all those meetings every other Wednesday for updates. It's hard work. It's a really hard work, and things have a way of sometimes holding back only because processes for permitting, processes that encumber procurement, and things of that nature. But to the level that we have moved forward to, we're very excited that we're actually moving pretty fast compared to prior years.
All right. Well, Joe, always a pleasure to see you. Happy New Year, and thanks so much for your hard work.
Si tu es, Masi.
All right. Stay tuned, because we will be right back. More show when we return.